everyone, good morning. I am Julia Maria Cañeda from BE at 2A Day, and I am here to show you the visual representation of Edgar Dale's cone of experience. So first, we are now going to tackle about what is the cone. So the cone is being defined by Edgar Dale himself, and he said, the cone is a visual analogy, and like all analogies, it does not bear an exact and detailed relationship to the complex elements it presents. So, to further understand about what Edgar Dale said about the cone, so we'll now proceed with this visual cone of representation. Okay, so the elements of the cone of experiences are the two M's of instruction, namely the media and the material. So in the previous lessons, we know that there are 8 M's of instruction. So in the cone of experiences, there are 2 M's that are being tackled. So namely the media and the material. So it guides the teachers in using the kind of instructional materials used in teaching. Okay, so what is the cone of experience? So the cone of experience is first introduced in Dale's 1946 book, The Audio-Visual Methods in Teaching, designed to show the progression of learning experiences from the concrete to the abstract. So to further know about the concrete and the abstract, we are now going to show you the visual model. So this is the visual model. So as we have here, we have the cone itself. So we have the cone that is being divided into 5. So in the lower area of the cone, we have here the direct or purposeful, and then followed by contrived experiences, and then followed by dramatized experiences, demonstrations, study trips, exhibits, televisions, educational, motion pictures, recordings, radio, still pictures, visual symbols, and verbal symbols. So each level of the cone has its own use. So first, we have the inactive. So the inactive, it nasudiri ang direct experiences, direct purposeful, as what I've said ganina, contrived, and dramatized. In the iconic, nasudiri ang pictorial experiences, demonstrations, study trips, exhibits, education, television, motion pictures, recordings, radio, still pictures, symbolic, highly abstract. Okay, so to further look up about what are the inactive, iconic, and symbolic experiences, so we're going to first tackle the inactive. So the inactive is, it refers to the direct experience or encounter with what it is. This is life on the raw, rich, and unedited. They form on the basis of all learning experiences. For example, an actual swimming pool lesson. Diba? So that is an actual or a real life experience, because we ourselves, we tend to perform an actual swimming lesson. So direct purposeful experiences. So these are first-hand experiences. It has direct participation in the outcome and uses all of our senses. So what is an example of this? An example, working in a homeless shelter, or could be tutoring younger children. At the very bottom of the cone, we find the most concrete uses of experiences. So as what I've said, ganina na, at the very bottom of the cone, we find the concrete, so that direct possible experiences is one of them. So now, contrived experiences. Here, we make use of our representative models and mock-up of reality, edited copies of reality, necessary when real experiences cannot be used or are too complicated. So, for example, conducting election of class and classroom officers, mock-up of a clock, diba? Or other example, realia of a globe, no? If we are going to talk about teaching a lesson, and we are going, or as a teachers, we want to share something or we want to present, for example, your topic is about kanang sa globe, no? Di man ka pwede magdala dito real nga globe kay saon naman lang, no? So instead we are going to bring, no, a kanang globe nga gamay, and then para makita sa tong students nga mo din na siya ang sa globe. Okay, so mo na siyang kalayaan sa contrive og sa direct. So okay, so going back, as I said nga dako jud og kalahian or dako jud og differences ang direct og ang contrive experiences, no? Okay, so now let's move on to the next cone of experience, which is the dramatized experiences. So the dramatized experiences are reconstructed experience and can be used to simplify an event or idea to its most important parts. So this is divided into two categories. So acting or role playing, actual participation, which is more concrete, and the second one is the observing, watching a dramatization take place. This is more abstract, no? The acting is more concrete and the observing is more abstract. So dramatized experience, no, is categorized into two categories. Okay, so other forms of dramatized experiences: plays, puppets, pageants, pantomime, and tableau. So plays, no, kita mo na nato sa to ang ato ang everyday nga learning, no, kay pa kun mo jud sa mga teacher. So that's what dramatized experience is all about. Next, we have demonstration. So demonstration, a visualized explanation of an important fact, idea, or process by the use of the following. First, we have the photographs. Second, drawings. Third, films. Fourth, displays. And fifth is the guided motion. So the guided motion is showing how things are done, how to make a, for example, is in how to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, how to play a piano, how to lift a fingerprint. So in the demonstration, for the word itself, demonstrate, no, the teacher or the student will demonstrate, for example, mag-experiment mo. So i-demonstrate sa natin teacher ang saan siya pagbuhat kay if kung ilitsura na nimo siya og hatag sa imong mga estudyante diha, dili na sila kasabot. So ikaw teacher itself, i-demonstrate sa nimo first imong lesson, una nimo hatag sa imong students. So visualized explanation of an important fact, idea, or process. Demonstrations are a great mixture of concrete hands-on application and more abstract non-verbal explanation. Okay, so gingon din ang demonstrations daw are a great mixture, no, of concrete hands-on application and more abstract and verbal application, because in the demonstrating nga kuan, so kinahanglan jud nga ikaw kuan jud ka ng, kung ikaw maghatag kag instruction sa imong students baron diha, dapat abstract jud, dapat kuan jud ka ng mo jud na siya nga kuan pa nga kuan kay sa kag maghatag ta diha og shallow kayo nga instruction sa atong students, so dili sila makasabot, which may lead nga masayop or makuan ang inyong gibuhat. Okay, next is the study trips. So watch people do things in real situations. Observe an event that is unavailable in the classroom. These are excursions, educational trips, and visits conducted. Observe an event that is unavailable within the classroom. So example of this is the field study or the field trip. So it's a trip outside the classroom. Okay, nga naman, why would we conduct study trips? Nga naman natin mo siya sa cone of experiences. Study trips or field trips are part of cone of experiences because kanang gipunan niya ang unsay kuwangan sa classroom management. So ay sa classroom. So mingon karon inyong topic is about animals, no? Lain sa kayo magdakad at tinuod nga buaya, no? So to do that, you are going to kanang instead you are going to go to kanang mga zoos or kanang other kuan to study about more sa lain-lain nga klase nga animals. But ayaw intaon mo pag kuan og field trip nga kanang dili siya that is not related to your topic, no? Wala lang nag-field trip lang may kay maglaglaag mi sa mga estudyante, no, because first and foremost safety jud sa students ang dapat nato nga tutukan ana no as a teachers niya. As a teacher dapat jud nga maningkamot ta nga if we conduct field trips no, na jud tay mga guidelines nga sundon kay magkinaunsa or mahuwag tang burn na yung mga students diha ikay pa sa nila reliability sa teacher nga if ever say mo kuan sa student. So next we have exhibits. So these are the displays to be seen by spectators. May consist of working models, charts, and posters. Sometimes are for your eyes only, more on visual. So two types: ready-made museum, for example, museum or career fair, and homemade classroom project or National History Day competition. So exhibits are what we see now. So I don't know if you've seen exhibits, but I've seen one and our exhibit in the Robinson's Galleria, no? And it's very amazing, no, to have these kind of artists having intellectual knowledge, intellectual abilities to show their talents or skills, no, and expressing themselves through art, no. So that's why they also exhibit their work no kay para makita po sa mga tao kung unsan ang ilang kayang abuhaton or capability. So exhibit daw have two types: ready-made and homemade. So ready-made are what we see in a museums or career fair. So what we see in museums and career fair. So and homemade is a classroom project or National Day competition. So the homemade mo na siya mga project ba sa mga bata, mga classroom projects, no? So mo na siyang exhibit. So the iconic naman, so we're done with the inactive, no? We'll proceed with the iconic experiences. So in the iconic experiences of the cone, it is progressively moving forward toward greater use of imagination. Successful use in a classroom depends on how much imaginative involvement the method can elicit from students. So it involves ganina, demonstrations, study trips, exhibit, motion pictures, educational televisions, radio, recordings, and still pictures. Okay. So educational television and motion pictures. So television, what is the difference there between television and motion pictures? So these are their difference. So televisions bring images interaction with the events from around the world. It edit an event to create clear understanding, and if experience actual firsthand. So example, TV coverage of 9/11. Motion picture, on the other hand, can omit unnecessary and unimportant material. It is used to slow down a fast process, viewing, seeing, and hearing experience, and can recreate events with simplistic drama than ever slower student grasp. So that is the difference between television and motion pictures. Okay, so we'll go to the next one, which is the recording, radio, and still pictures. So can often be understood by those who cannot read, lack auditory dimension, helpful to students who cannot deal with emotion or pace for a real event or television. These are visual or auditory devices which may be used by an individual or a group. So recordings, radio, and still pictures are helpful no to those kanang visually impaired or kanang dili sila kadungog no kay with this kay nagyapon sila information nga makalat because nagyapon ang uban nga senses nga available nila. So example, Time Life magazine, listening to old radio broadcasts, or listening to music. Okay, so symbolic refers to the use of words or printed materials which no longer resemble the object under the study. Example, the word whale. Upon reading or hearing the word whale, the learner can form a mental image about it. So, kumingon kang cross, no? Makonde na sa mind sa bata kung saan na ang cross. Okay, so now we are going to talk about visual symbols. So, no longer involves reproducing real situation. Chalkboards and overhead projectors, the most widely used media. Have students see an event, idea, or processes. So for the so word itself nga visual, no? So magamit jud ang ato ang sense of sight. So examples, chalkboards, flat maps, diagrams, and charts. No, these are traditional and non-traditional instructional materials, no, mga chalkboards. But karon ang gipanggamit na sa mga teachers is the PowerPoint presentations, mga unsa pa na siya diha. So there are topics under visual symbols. So we have here posters, diagrams, charts, graphs, maps, drawings, cartoons. So what's what I've said kanina, no, to and kay it's also effective nga magamit ang mga visual symbols sa ato ang classroom sa atong classroom, kay para ang students pud makita pud nila jud unsa ang kuan, dili sila maboringan, no, kay naman sila mga gipangtanong. So last, we have verbal symbols. They are not like the object or ideas for which they stand. They usually do not contain visual clues to their meanings. Written words fall under this category. It may be a word for a concrete object or a book, an idea, freedom of speech, a scientific principle, the principle of balance, or a formula. Okay, so that's the end of our discussion about the visual representation of the Edgar Dale's Cone of Experiences. I hope you've learned something this morning, and see you on the next lesson. Thank you and goodbye.